Hey guys, and welcome back to another review from Movie Files. My name's Elliott, and as I do every week, I'm here to give you guys my thoughts on the most recent episode of The Walking Dead, Season 8, Episode number 14, which was titled Still Gotta Mean Something. So, there were a couple things in this episode that I took away that I was okay with, but compared to the last previous two episodes, which you guys can see my reactions, my reviews on those episodes, I was very highly recommended. Those episodes was really enjoyable. I really liked where those two episodes kind of landed and kind of got me excited about where the season finale can lead. But as we've kind of gotten used to in the last few years of The Walking Dead, momentum kind of gears up at certain points of the season, and then it kind of slows down. This was kind of that episode for me. I'm kind of in the middle with it as far as, again, I like things such as, Rick. Obviously, he didn't read the letter. Michonne read her letter. It was heartfelt. She was emotional through it. Rick had his opportunity to read his letter, and instead of doing so, he kind of went psychotic Rick, which I like at some points, then at other points it's just kind of inconvenient. But this episode, it was kind of nice. I'm not a fan of any of the saviors, so whenever we get an opportunity to take them out, and I was down with that. So that was okay to me, seeing Rick and Crazy Morgan, which at this point I think they're gearing up for his transition to Fear the Walking Dead. So expect Morgan. He says he doesn't die, but I'm just where his story arc ends in this particular season and in this particular show, which is The Walking Dead. We'll see. He doesn't die, so he says, but I think his death is pretty imminent at this point, and probably season finale worthy type of death. So seeing Morgan and Rick do their thing and taking out that bar of walkers and the rest of the saviors. Again, seeing Rick we're at this point now where Rick, he's had these moments throughout the series where he's, good Rick, bad Rick, good Rick. Now he's bad again. He gave the man his word and obviously killed him, took him out in a pretty brutal manner. And I was the one, the positive out of that whole thing. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of the saviors, but seeing the one guy, I can think of his name now. I think it's Jared. I might be wrong, but seeing him go out the way he did, I'm not a fan of that character. The actor did a good job because that's what he was supposed to do, was have us not like him. He did that, so that was a pretty epic death. But other than that, I think Daryl and Tara storyline is kind of pointless at this point in the series, in the season, I should say. Daryl's just been kind of pushed to the side. I think the writers are kind of don't know what to do with him at this point, so he's just left to being vengeful towards Dwight, and the whole Tara thing again is kind of. I was okay with it the first two episodes, because seeing where Daryl and Dwight, their dynamics at, but now it's just kind of like they're just threw it in this episode, and it was just kind of, I just wish that they didn't even have that because it was just pointless. And then some other things that kind of happened through the episode, you see, which I actually like, Carol kind of getting redemption from when her daughter, I can't think of her name now, it was so long ago, but when her daughter went missing in the very early season 2, I believe, having that moment with her saving Henry was okay, because again, it kind of, she gets it's not her son, but she gets that closure in a sense. But I wasn't a fan of the whole dialogue with Ezekiel telling her she's a coward. It's like, really, dude, you're telling her she's a coward. But anyway, it was good seeing her have that moment for her character. But other than that, guys, I wasn't a fan of the whole Negan and Jada's thing, the helicopter. Like, you're gonna tell me what that is. Like, I just don't know why someone's asking her one time what's going on. She's just like, I'm not gonna tell you. It's just like convenience of a written television show. But I didn't like that whole, it was nice hearing this little backstory on Lucille, his wife, and all that, and they're really giving Negan more layers than they do in the comics. From what I read in the comics, they're making him more vulnerable and a little bit more human side to him. But it's nice to have that, having that layer and complexity of a villain. But it kind of felt kind of out of place in this episode. If they're going to do that, I just need them to give Negan just a full episode, such as they've done with, Morgan's character in season 6, when he had his whole journey of how he became the way he is now. So maybe we'll get that, but I thought this would have been a perfect episode. I totally would have been okay with a Negan back origin story than what we got tonight. This episode was just kind of there, as some of the episodes, like I said up top, of what Walking Dead normally does. They have some really good, sets of episodes, and then they just kind of get that filler episode, and that's exactly what this was. Again, we see Negan left Jadis, and we see he picks someone up in the car. Who knows who that is? Obviously, that dynamic between Negan, Dwight, and Simon will play out next week. But all in all, again, I think there was some positives with the episode, but again, I think it was just a filler episode, which I'm not a fan of, where it's just lazy writing. So all in all, I'm giving this a 2 out of 5. I wasn't too pleased with this episode. Again, there were some highlights here and there, but throughout, just rating the whole episode as far as just enjoyment, entertainment. I mean, again, you get the bar scene, you get that, but other than that, it was just kind of badly written and just some pointless dialogue, and just wasn't a fan of the episode. Again, coming off of those 2 great episodes from the last two weeks, going to this, it was a disappointment in my eyes. But again, that's just my opinion. I would love to know what you guys thought of the most recent episode of The Walking Dead. What are you guys expecting for 15 and 16 as far as the season finale goes, and just where you're at as far as Walking Dead goes. If you guys are, let me know also if you have the option in your city, in your town, to go see the season finale at a local theater. Let me know if you guys are doing that. So as always, like, share, comment below, subscribe to this channel, because we do this every week as far as The Walking Dead goes, as well as movie reviews, unboxing videos, all that great stuff. So definitely check out those videos there. And then as always, again, subscribe to our channel, follow us on our social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Stardust, all that fun stuff. So as I said, 2 out of 5, wasn't too happy with the episode, but hoping that next week is even better than this and can kind of take on the momentum from the last 2 episodes prior to tonight, and hopefully finish out the season on a high note into the season finale. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.